Hey guys, this is Modadek with you. In today's video, I am continuing my unit showcase for Radious mod, and I will talk about new Skaven units, my favorite faction from Warhammer 2. As you know, in the vanilla game, Skaven faction were focusing on their weapons teams, abominations, and artillery. Their infantry was meant to hold enemy units until their weapon teams or artillery do all the killing, so basically their infantry was meant to die on the front lines. With the Radius mod, that might change. With this mod, you get bunch of new units with which you can change your tactics. You will get strong infantry, more variety of skirmishes units, who can perfectly be used for hit and run tactics. Still interested? Well then, let's get a closer look at them. But before we start, can I ask you to subscribe for my channel if you like my content and leave the like after this video. By doing that, you will help the channel grow and will keep me motivated to make more content like that for you guys. Thank you, and let's begin. Starting with Clanrat Warriors. These two new units provide a much needed upgrade from the vanilla Clanrat, equipped with swords and shield for anti-infantry and halberds for anti-large. These decent tier 2 units come with poison attacks and 2 passive abilities, strength with numbers, which increases their melee defense and leadership but reduces their speed by 15% when their hit points are higher than 50%, and Scurry Away, which increases their speed by 15% when they become wavering. Definitely an upgrade from vanilla Clanrats, higher stats at everything. Clanrat Warriors are not bad for their tier. They cost a little bit more than tier 1 Clanrats, and at tier 2 Skaven don't have many options rather than Plague Monks, whose defense and armor are not that great, or Ashen Triads, who also cost more and only got 86 entities. So for its tier, it's a really nice unit to field in early to mid stages of the game. Also, they benefit from buffs that improve clan rats. And for those who like to field Plague Monks in your army, for example if you're playing as Krolk, there is now a variant equipped with shields, very similar stats as vanilla Plague Monks. This version sacrifices the bonus against infantry for extra protection from enemy missiles, but still retains the frenzy ability to increase its damage potential in battle. It definitely will survive longer than regular Plague Monks on front lines. Also, it receives all the same buffs from the Skaven tech tree and Lord skills as the regular Plague Monks. Skaven are also renowned for their ambushing capabilities, and the new Death Runners with spears offer another option for players to take advantage of. We had regular Death Runners, and they were good at hitting enemies to the back and deal tons of damage. Their ability to conceal bombs was making them unspottable, and Vanguard deployment was giving them a nice flexible option to place them behind the enemy lines. Just like regular Death Runners, these new units have the Whipping Blade ability to reduce the enemy's armor by 25%, conceal bombs to hide from enemies, and Vanguard deployment to set up behind the enemy lines, and very nice physical resistance of 30% because of their armor is not that great. Also, the benefit from all the buffs Death Runner get in the campaign. With a large number of entities, these Death Runners are forced to be reckoned with. And for the elite infantry, we start with the new variant of Storm Vermin with dual swords. In vanilla game, the Storm Vermin were the best option for the frontline infantry, which had the decent stats all around for a large number of entities. It was well balanced. But with Radius mod, they're still not the best, but decent. Storm Vermin variant with dual swords offers a better combat stats than the regular Storm Vermin, but with the same defense stats. The Whipping Blade ability further increases their damage against other infantry by reducing their enemy's armor. And by the way, all the other melee infantry units that I will show you next, including this one, will benefit from buffs for Storm Vermin. Next on the list, we got 3 new infantry units called Death Vermin, one variant with spears, second variant with dual swords, and the last variant with sensors also make their debut. All variants comes with contaminated attacks to reduce the enemy base weapon damage and leadership, Strider ability to increase their speeds on the terrain, and Vanguard deployment to ambush the enemies. Still got a large number of entities on ultra unit scale. For example, other factions elite units at their tier only get 80 entities. Very cool looking units who can be very versatile. And finally, to the new Red Guards units, offer Skaven players an even better frontline infantry with swords and shield, halberds, sensors variants. With this new unit, Skaven can finally have a really good frontline infantry who can do good against elite frontline infantry. These units have a fire and magic attacks, and only the sensor version has contaminated attacks. All Red Guards are expert at charge defense, are immune to psychology and have fire resistance of 40%. They are perfect units to deal with enemies weak to fire or magic damage, such as demons or undead. Guys, just take a minute to look at how beautiful their skins are. Definitely a unit that you don't want to be wasted under the fire of your weapon teams or artillery. To round up the missile infantry, were you guys asking for a ninja Skaven? Black Claws have been added with the both throwing stars and slings. They benefit from all the same buffs as the gutter runners, and both variants have poison attacks for both melee and range. They have decent melee stats, that means they can do well against weaker infantry, have vanguard deployment, stalk, snare nets to reduce enemy speed and charge speed by 10%, very nice physical resistance of 35% and missile resistance of 15% to help them skirmish with enemies' missile units. They're also incredibly fast and can be made even faster with buffs, making them difficult unit to catch, so they can easily outrun enemies' infantry and even slow heavy cavalry units. And their variant with throwing stars can fire whilst moving, which makes it a very annoying unit to deal with. I remember making a Doomstack with them, and they did pretty well. No one could catch up with this unit because of their poison attacks. It was very enjoyable having at least one army filled with Black Claws. And to the last part of the new monsters. You will get just a couple of them, but they're worth it. The new monsters include Red Ogres, Bonebreakers, a tier 3 heavy light cavalry unit with thunder armor, a charge bonus, armor piercing attacks, Frenzy, and 15 missile resistance. Not a bad monster for your army. I present you the Warpstone Hellpit Abomination, an upgrade from a regular Hellpit Abomination. It got higher stats, magical attacks, both bonuses, anti-infantry and large, has an ability of fluid injection, which will increase its both base and armor piercing damage, and will add more melee attacks for the cost of rampage. It causes fear and terror, has a perfect vigor, same passive abilities from a regular Hellpit Abomination, and got extra 25% of missile and spell resistance. The only downside, it will cost you more than a regular Hellpit Abomination, but that shouldn't be a problem for the late campaign. And to finish this list, the last unit I will present you, Black Rage Red Ogres. A tier 3 variant of the Red Ogres with different skin, a more darker one. Don't you guys think they look like skin wolves from Norska? I kinda like it more. This unit comes with the poison melee attacks, bonus versus infantry, frenzy, has a nice fire resistance of 25%, and it can cause terror and fear. Definitely a better version of the Red Ogres that you can field in your army to catch up with the enemy's artillery or infantry units, or even charge them at the backs of the enemy's front lines. Or if you want, you can use them against the enemy's cavalry to slow them down due to their poison attacks. Definitely an upgraded version for your Red Ogres. All those new units get buffs from tech tree and skills that buff their counterparts. And that was all 16 new units that's been added with the Radious mod for my favorite faction of Warhammer. I will ask you again to subscribe for my channel for more content like that, and if you like this video, don't be shy to hit the like button, that definitely will make my day. For any questions or suggestions what faction I should cover next, leave the comment under this video. I always check my comments. Now you know what the Radious mod has to offer for Skaven, so go on and wreak havoc with your Ratman. It was Mod Addict, and I hope you guys have a nice day.